Hey everyone! Wow, 3 people already. That's awesome. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So it's Monday Night Live. Sorry I was a few minutes late. Took me a few extra minutes to get some stuff set up. Hopefully everything's good. Get this situated real quick. And how's everybody doing tonight? Doing well, hopefully. Hey Elite. Hey Young. Too late. What's too late, clone? You're second. Oh. Hey Tom. Hello KW. Okay, so first things first. It's been a busy week, so if I'm a little tired, there's good reason for that. Second, I guess. Hey Pretzel Boy. Hey Matt. Everybody, welcome to the stream. So far, good to have y'all here. I finished a new lightsaber for a friend. It's not new. It's an Empire. It's an Empire Strikes Back hilt. It's missing the wires right now. I got to put those in and then send it back to him. But I wanted to show you because my lightsaber has a white flash on clash. This one is more screen accurate because it has a green or yellow flash on clash, which is closer to it. So I'll show it to you guys. Matt, you joined the MPD forums. That's good. Fantastic. Great job. Very, very proud of you for joining the forums. Proud of anybody for joining the forums. That's the place to go for good information on anything to do with Star Wars costuming. The forums is fantastic. Hey, Matthew. Glad you got notification this time. Awesome. Welcome to the stream. Nice, Elite Clone Captain. Drew that yourself, huh? Let's see, get this situated. Sorry, a little bit. There we go. Okay. So, anyway, this saber is, one I just finished up for a friend. And it has a recharge port right there, which is cool. And somewhere around here is a kill key. Got it. I got it. It's down here. Little tiny plastic kill key that you put on. And it kills the power. And then, anyway, when you pull the power, it does this.
I am your father.
Which I like. And then it has a button here, which activates it. It's nice and red, right? Nice. Actually, let me do this without the sound so that we can, Hold on. There we go. So, nice and red, right? Now, check this out, because this is flash on clash. It goes green, which is not totally screen accurate, but it's very, very eye grabbing because green and red are opposites on the color spectrum. And then, oh dang it, hold on. Still got to tweak a few things with the switches here.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
That's font 2. Gotta go one more. Hold on. Almost there. Okay.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
So, if you watch the original trilogy, especially A New Hope, the flashes and stuff that happen when they clash lightsabers are not white. They're yellow, sometimes even green-ish, mostly yellowish. But anyway, so this is a yellow flash on clash. It's a little harder to see on the camera, but anyway, it's pretty cool. I like the green because it's so stark in contrast with the yellow. It's just very like.
I am your father.
It really grabs your attention. Oops. So, pretty cool, huh? I'm very excited. I'm very excited how this one turned out. There's a kill key. So anyway. Yeah. Put some phrases on there for him for the 3 fonts so he knows which font is which. And I think he's going to be a very, very, very happy person. So then, the next thing that I worked on is you have Vader in A New Hope, which is this helmet here. This is a New Hope helmet. If you see, you know, it's got the sharp peak right here, and then these are very low and they cover the brow of the eye, and these are round. There should be a little scar right here, a little C scar, and then this one's black and this one's silver, and there's a little tiny chin vent down here, and a few other things. This is a plastic one, so it's not that great, but it's not too bad. Anyway, let's see. So to turn this into a Rogue One helmet, there are several differences. One, the eye lenses have to be way more amber, or more red, actually. And I think, I was talking with a friend of mine, I think you could take these and like spray them with some clear like brake light spray, like people are using on the Kylo Ren unstable blades. Or maybe even just soak them in something to push them more to the red side would work. And then there also has to be two little lines, incised lines right here and right here, one on each side, because they built the mask, they built the helmet for the movie like they were going to take it off, or put it on probably. Because when he's in the bacta tank and he's sitting there getting ready for Krennic, when he puts everything on, I think they were planning on filming a scene that actually... you know, showed him getting suited back up, getting his arms put on and all that. They just obviously cut it for some reason. But when they built the mask for Rogue One, you can see the lines right here where it would lift off, like in Return of the Jedi or like in Revenge of the Sith when it sits in. There's a little incised line here, and then the mask cuts off down here along this bottom tube. They didn't, but it's a very distinctive difference on the Rogue One Vader helmet is the line right here. So the other difference is I'm going to enlist the help of my super high-tech version here. A roll of electrical tape and an SD card case. Because the other big difference between the Rogue One and a New Hope helmet is the height of the dome is different. So that is a Rogue One helmet dome height, just like that. Literally, a roll of electrical tape and a SD card case puts this right. Because if you look at Rogue One, you can see his brows, just like in ESB. You can see his eyebrows. It's still low, it sits low, but you can just see his eyebrows underneath the lip of the dome. So there's a few other differences, like this is more even. This kind of flares, it gets thicker down here where it would be even. And then the inside of the dome in Rogue One is smooth. There's not a big lip like this. But anyway, this is now a Rogue One helmet, especially if I burned some little lines in right here and made the lenses red, it would be a totally Rogue One helmet. So Rogue One, not Rogue One. See the difference? Awesome. Hey Brian, you made it. Awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Anyway, I found those two things interesting. I was playing around with it last night and discovered that little difference. So, let's see. I missed a whole bunch of questions, but I'm now paying attention to the chat. So if you had a question for me that Brian wasn't able to answer, or FPSN Diver wasn't able to answer, or then ask it again, and I'll try and answer it as best I can. So, thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being on the stream, brother. It's awesome. So, yeah, those are differences. Did you see that? Oh, Brian probably didn't see this, but I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it again because I'm really proud of it.
I am your father.
So this is a red Vader saber, standard red, not deep red, with a green flash on clash. And then if I advance far enough, it goes to a yellow flash on clash, which I'll do it really soon. Really quick. Arthas asks what my usual helmet is made of if not plastic. There you go. My helmets are all fiberglass. And the original helmets were fiberglass. I love fiberglass helmets. Mine weighs about 3.5 pounds, and this plastic one here weighs about 2, a little under 2 maybe. But anyway, so, and then this is a yellow flash on clash for this. I love the sounds. I got really good, really good Vader sound font now too for these, which the clash and all that sounds just legit. It's awesome. Yes, it is a Biscotti version 4, which is a fantastic card for a saber like that. The Nano Biscotti version 4 is just unbelievably, it's brilliant. It's super easy to wire. It's the new motion detectors that he put in there are fantastic, and what it can handle is fantastic. So unless you're going to do something really crazy, cross guards or more than that, the Nano Biscotti version 4 is great for a single-bladed saber with flash on clash. So Matt asked, would I like to see the 10 minutes of cut Vader footage from Rogue One? Oh, I would love to see that. I was hoping that they would put more on the bonus videos, but nothing. It was terrible. Really sucks that way. Anyway. Ruler Vegas asked, did I build my custom suit from the Darth Vader Supreme suit? So I was given a Darth Vader Supreme suit that got me started down this path. From there, everything has been replaced. The only thing I still have that's original from that suit that somebody gave me is the lightsaber, because it was great. And then, but since then, I've pretty much systematically replaced everything, and it's all custom. All from joining the forums at 501stsithlords.com, which is great. So, let's see. How did I route the wire under the clamp? Wait, under the clamp. Oh, of this? Of this here? This is, oh, I don't have the thing. I can't take it out. Anyway, the right under here is a tactile switch that I mount inside of the clamp here. And then because this normally slides to have the momentary switch in it, a latching momentary switch. Sorry, that's not true. Not right at all. A latching switch. Sorry, a slider switch that's latching. Then there's a hole in here, underneath here, and the wire just runs through in here. So I have a battery that sits like in about here, and then the Nano Biscotti sits about here. There's a speaker about here, and then the recharge port in the back. And then there's some open space here with wiring, of course, and then the LED sits about here. Or, yeah, somewhere right about there. And with fitting the switch under here, it takes, because this is a Master Replicas, Tom, not an MPP. So I don't know about the MPP yet. It'd be a little bit different. But the fitting the switch in there just takes a little bit of work, a little bit of sanding, and a little bit of tweaking to get it to sit right, so it's got the right distance to travel for turning it on and off. Yes. So, they say to stay away from the SFP. I don't know what that means, Matt. Elite Captain. Oh, Star Fortress? Yes, you want to stay far away from Star Fortress. And the reason is this, that over the years, he has scammed thousands of people out of tens of thousands of dollars, and the issue is that his mode of operation is to do it and then come back and get a good track record again, either under a different name or what have you, and then do it again. And so it's happened multiple times. If you got money to throw away and burn and take a chance on, then you can do it. But otherwise, it's best to avoid Star Fortress Productions. Not to mention the fact that he has recast almost everything that he owns, which means somebody else owned the original cast or created the original cast or mold or whatever, and then he made a copy of it and started selling it himself. So, but yeah, it's very hit or miss on whether you get your stuff or not, and whether you get good stuff or junk stuff is very hit or miss. So, anyway. Elite Clone Captain asks if I've ever wanted to cosplay as a clone trooper. No, I have not. I've really only ever wanted to dress as Vader. And now, someday, a Wookiee. Someday. 2.5 years. That's 2.5, right? Yeah. So, anyway. Let's see. Arthas asked, do I see myself making a Vader from Star Wars Rebels? I do not. I will say, I love the Vader from Star Wars Rebels. I think they did a great job of making him look lean and mean and still capture the real kind of grit and essence of Vader, especially like from A New Hope, which was right around that time period. But I am not going to be making another Vader suit anytime soon because it's expensive to do it right, or to do it like I've done it. It's a quite venture. So I don't plan on doing another Vader costume. I'm working on kind of an ESB build, but that's an easier transition from mine, Return of the Jedi, because it's basically you swap out chest box, take the hook off the armor, and helmet, and you're pretty much good to go. There's a couple other minor differences, but it's pretty close. So that's what I plan to do if I do anything at all, other than my other costume build, which is happening now, and then in 2.5 years, a Wookiee. So, FES Divers working on his MPP core tonight. Awesome, fantastic. Yes, yeah, the Nano Biscotti version 4 is a fantastic card. I agree. You have it for your graphics too. That's awesome. Doesn't Vader from Star Wars Rebels look a bit similar to Rogue One version, just a bit slimmer? Sort of. They did a weird, I mean, it's animation, so obviously they can do a lot of stuff, but they did kind of a strange, what's the word, amalgamation of some ROTS stuff and the Rogue One Vader and A New Hope. I mean, obviously, it's an animated series, so they can take all kinds of license and do whatever they want, but they did a great job. Like the more amber reddish lenses, that's definitely a Rogue One, A New Hope sort of a thing. The shape of the helmet and it's more symmetrical is a little bit more Revenge of the Sith. Not a lot though. And then it's hard to tell like if they intended to look all black or if they intended to sort of have the two-tone paint scheme, because of the way you can do animation is just so different from real life. So anyway, it was really good. Yes, I do get your reference, Clone Captain. He said he would be Starkiller for Vader. That would be fun. Be fun to troop with a Starkiller someday. Starkiller's an interesting character. Not only is he like unbelievably powerful with the Force, like more powerful than anybody's ever been, but yeah, it's an interesting character. So Matt asked, do I think that Kylo will return to Vader's castle and wear one of his capes? I think he's wearing one of Vader's capes, cut up and re-sewn or whatever to make it work for him. I don't know that he'll return to the castle. I don't know. That would be interesting. I do think it's interesting that if you haven't seen the leak of Snoke's base, it looks very Death Star-esque. Is very interesting. And so I've heard now that like, he has this massive Star Destroyer that he lives on that zips around the galaxy, and then now they're kind of going, well, maybe he has a Death Star, like, he found a mothballed Death Star back in the back and grabbed it and made it his home or something like that. You would think with the track record of the Empire and Death Stars and now the First Order and Starkiller Base, nobody with any sense that wants to live for very long would want to be anywhere near a Death Star. But who knows? Maybe Snoke was one of the only people that survived from the Death Star in Return of the Jedi or A New Hope or something like that. Anyway, who knows? There's all kinds of rumors. I have a feeling that storyline-wise, they've departed. Like Snoke's history is something new that's not in any of the originals. I think they just started a new character that they could weave into the backstory, like through a animated series that would come up after Return of the Jedi and before Force Awakens, because they've got a huge time space there they can fill. And since this is Rebels' last season, I think they'll be moving into that space, and so they can weave a whole bunch of backstory for Luke and Kylo and all those guys there. But yeah. Yeah, Matt, that's what I've heard too. It's massive, like basically a super duper Star Destroyer that they're, and it's cool because they're bringing a lot of these things, even in Rebels, like bringing Grand Admiral Thrawn in, and then a few other things. They're bringing a lot of the extended universe back into canon bit by bit, but they're just tweaking it a bit, which is really, really cool. So Reap God asks, how did Kylo get Vader's helmet? I think he searched long and hard and got it one way or another. Either he found it in a junkyard that somebody was selling, or he sent out his minions to find it and take it by force. So that's my bet, is that he got it. I think with the Knights of Ren, at least some of the lore included in the Knights of Ren, is they were searching pretty hard after Vader relics. Well, and there's a whole group of people that were searching hard after Vader relics, and I have a feeling Kylo just sort of, what's the word, commandeered anything he could find. So he sent Sith acolytes. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I think we will. FPNS Diver says the Force Moon of Endor. Yeah, where it was burned. FPNS Diver says we have to see more of the Knights of Ren. I think the interesting thing is that they've got, so since Rebels is ending and their next series takes place between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, so they have 30 years they can fill, which is good because we need more than like 3 seasons of something. I think that they'll be able to go into a lot of the backstory of, you know, what happened when the Empire fell, and then how the Knights of Ren and all that sort of like came to be. So I think it'll be cool. It'll be an interesting time for Star Wars to see that kind of area in between everything explored. Find out how the New Republic kind of obviously sort of fell apart somehow, or didn't really do what they were hoping it would do. So we'll see. He found it on eBay. Cade says he found it on eBay. I don't... Maybe there's a Star Wars version of eBay. Galactic Bay or something? Maybe, yeah. I doubt it. So, let's see. Arthas asks, was there ever a time where I ran into another Vader cosplay with an equal quality costume or more? And if so, how did that play out? I have not. There's one person in the state of Alaska that has a costume that's somewhat equal to mine, and he lives in Fairbanks, and we're friends. And so if we ever did anything, we would communicate about who's going to be there, because we're both part of the 501st. There have been people that have Vader costumes, like at the trick or treat town that I posted a video about yesterday, I think. You know, but their costumes are like very inexpensive costumes. There's somebody up here with a Ruby Supreme that runs around every once in a while, but I've never run into him. And for the 501st, like any events we would go to, or, you know, that I would go to troop with another, say if I went down to California to visit my family that's down there and took my Vader costume, was going to troop with them, then I would communicate ahead of time, one, if there were any troops available that I could come on it, that they would mind me joining on, and then two, if I could do it with my Vader costume. If not, obviously I'm not going to bring it because it takes up a lot of space, and it's heavy, and it's fragile, and I don't like to travel with it if I don't have to. So that's kind of the way it goes. Because the rule of thumb is that, like, conventions are one thing, but like any events, the 501st events, we're not having more than one hero character out at a time. A Boba Fett, Vader, Luke Skywalker, you know, any Emperor Palpatine, Phasma, Kylo. There shouldn't be more than one out visible to the public at any one time, because it makes no sense to have doubles of those people. Now, obviously, conventions, it's a little different because tons of people are going there. They're dressing up as whatever they want, and so you run into each other, and then it's just, you can have fun with it and do something like that. Anyway. You guys are asking about Snoke's guards, his elite. Yes, I like the new guards. I think they're very cool. I'm very curious to see how their armor and costume and everything works out, and what they're capable of, because they certainly look like they could be capable of something pretty awesome. But as we know, like the Royal Guards from Return of the Jedi, and they could have been capable of like taking hordes and hordes of enemy soldiers down. We would never know, because we never got to see them do anything. Obviously, they're protecting the Emperor. They were very capable soldiers. Not that he needed it, because he was pretty freaking capable himself. But, yeah, there you go. Okay. Cade says we need to have a staged lightsaber fight someday. That would be fun. Yeah. Like, any other clone captain asked me about like having doubles of other stuff. anything other than a face character, a hero character, like a named character, doubles, triples, quadruples, it's the more the merrier. It's better. So anyway, yeah, that's not an issue of having doubles of that. It's more the doubles of like Vader or the Emperor or Kylo or Boba Fett, Phasma, R2-D2, C-3PO, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, any of those guys. Like, you got to be more careful because it doesn't make sense to people to have more than one, because there's one in the movie, right? So congrats, Cade, you won a contest with your Maul cosplay. That's fantastic, bud. Awesome. Let's see. Death Trooper costume, armor kit, star. Should I get this? I don't understand what you're asking exactly, but okay. Yes, it would be hard to find shorter Death Troopers. Death Troopers are cool. They look uncomfortable, but they are cool. Pretzel Boy, good question. So me and a friend were looking closely at that the other day because we kind of wondered the same thing. If you look really closely at the masks, they're mesh. Like, a lot like, I don't have it here, but I've got mesh over my eyes in Vader. In my helmets, and the reason for that's to block the flash from cameras or light. It scatters the light so you don't see my face and eyes underneath there. And but if you look really closely at those, it's like a very, very, very fine mesh, so they'll be able to see out of it. I mean, the actors will, but yeah, it's a very fine looking, like metal mesh sort of thing, so they can see. But I'm sure in lore, like inside those helmets, they have like a whole Iron Man heads-up display thing going on and all that, because Vader had that and Boba Fett has that and stuff like that. But in real life, those of us who, play these characters outside of a very controlled set with very controlled predetermined motions, have to figure other things out. So, but if you look really closely, they're mesh, like from about here down, it looks like they're all mesh, which would be great actually, because you can see through the mesh. If it's close to your face, you can see through it really easily. Then you could, see pretty much everything. Like the when Vader in all of the scenes in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, when he was battling, they used Bob Anderson, who was the stunt guy and planned out the sword fights for Vader. They used a Vader mask that had the cheeks, had the cheeks right here were cut out, and they used press bricks, which is like clear plastic sort of stuff. And then the whole bottom front of the chin was cut out, and they replaced it with clear press bricks too. So he could see much better when they were sword fighting, obviously, and going up and down stairs and all that. Anyway, so, they did stuff like that for Vader. Obviously, now they're thinking ahead and going, yeah, we're going to have these guys fighting. We need to make sure they can see somewhat, and so they figure something out. Or they do like with Kylo, and they just black out the visor with CGI post-production stuff. Justin, you made it! And mesh is breathable. Justin says mesh is breathable. It's true. Mesh is breathable. You can get a little breeze through mesh, and every little bit helps. Fans, man, with some mesh would be fantastic. Oh... Elite Clone Captain says the people who make those, yeah, there are people too that they do Vader, and then they get the neck brace and do up their head too, and then if they don't take the helmet off, I don't see the point personally. The neck brace, it's not no point at all. But yeah, I've seen people wear the neck brace with the whole helmet, and it just, to me, it doesn't look good, and it looks really uncomfortable too. It just does not sound very fun. It's like the Revenge of the Sith helmet, basically. You put it on the front, and then you put on this back neck piece that clamps around, and then you put the dome on, and then you put the helmet over, or the armor over, so you can turn your head about that far each side, and you can look up and down about that far, and that's it. And you're stuck in there until you have a friend come help you take it all off, which just does not sound like fun. I don't know why people do Revenge of the Sith Vader. I just don't. I'm sorry. If that's your favorite, that's cool, but it's not mine. So, anyway. Let's see. Matt says, have you seen the Boba Fett fan-made movie trailer? They got a costume on point. Mannerisms of Boba Fett were perfect. I hope Disney brings the movie production back. Me too. I do too. I think a Boba Fett movie would be fabulous. I know with Disney, it might be a little bit harder because it's, focus on the bad guys. And how do you do that and still make it work? But they can figure something out. They can make a Vader standalone movie too. It'd be fine. The bottom line is it would make money, I think, if they did it well. FNS Diver says, my sweat gets in the eye mesh and blinds me. Still no helmet fans. Got to quit this saber nonsense and put fans in. North Carolina is brutal. Yes, I can't imagine trooping down there with you. It would be, I would die. I would just die. You need to get some fans in there. Get the little blower fans. I linked them on a couple of live stream ago or 2 live streams ago or something. You could fit one of those in your chin or even on the side. They're really thin. They're quiet, but they move a ton of air, man. It would help you out unbelievably. It would help you out so much. You'd be so much happier. Yeah, and you should think about spending money on other things besides sabers, because I know how many you've got going. Well, roughly, it's a lot. It's a lot. You could think about doing something else, like fans in your helmet, which would make you way more comfortable on troops. By the way, your costume's looking great. I saw it on your last troop report. Really nice. A mall film. Yeah, good luck with that. All of the fans. Justin says all of the fans. Just put a fan on every square inch inside the helmet. We got a stormtrooper up here that has 4 or 5 in his helmet. It's kind of cool. You stand next to him and you just hear this really, really quiet, just... It's a lot of fans in a little helmet, but he's super comfortable now with it. Have I seen Phasma's male counterpart that wears red armor? It's on the Phasma book poster at Barnes & Noble, I think. No, I have not, but that sounds pretty cool. You get closer to him to stay cool. Well, I have fans. I got 3 fans in my helmet. I'm very comfortable. For me, the problem, the heat, it's hot, yes, and it's a little bit, it is hot. But the heat is not as uncomfortable as just the weight of it. After a while, the weight of it starts to get to you. Now, guys like FNS Diver, he might be able to tell you different. On Kylo, Kylo's a little different story. It's not a heavy costume. It's a hot costume, and everything's super tight. And so it's not as nice that way, from what I understand. Now, I've also understood that the costume itself is actually pretty comfortable. It's just hot. So... Pretzel here, not competent enough to put fans in your Kylo? I bet you are. You could probably do it. Matt, for me, I don't have any issue with fogging on my lenses. For Kylos, most Kylos don't have a lens in the visor. They just have mesh, and that's all they use. So anyway. Elite Clone Captain feels like doing a Jawa, but then you realize your issue. What's your issue exactly? You're too tall for it? Not true. Not true. Not true. I know several guys that are 6'5", 6'6" that have done Jawas, and they're part of the Giant Jawa Club. Totally approvable with a 501st. A Jawa is. The height doesn't matter. So, and Jawas are pretty fun for adults. They're a little scary for kids. So, no breathing whatsoever in that one. Let's see. Tunic weighs 8 pounds. Okay. That's a little bit heavy there. I would guess my leather suit weighs probably 10 to 15 pounds. My cape my cape and robe together weigh about 20, maybe 22 pounds. And then my helmet weighs 3.5 pounds. My armor weighs 3.5 to 4 pounds. And, and then the chest box weighs a couple pounds. The belt boxes weigh a couple of pounds. It adds up quick. No matter what you do, when you start adding this stuff up, it adds up quick. It gets to be heavy. Matt, your TD fogs up way too much. You should think about fans, brother. Fans. Even without pulling fresh air in and blowing it, just some fans moving air around will help it out tremendously. That's all I'm saying. Fans. They're wonderful. Nice. A Jedi Youngling helmet. That sounds cool. That sounds really nice. Tom says, we have a little person that's a Jawa in the Carolina garrison. He's a mess. We want to kit him up in a stormtrooper and get our Forest 6-7 a Jawa for a spoof. That sounds like fun. I think a Jawa at 6'7" would be a little bit terrifying. That would be a little scary, the glowing eyes and all that. Anyway, Matt, for posting forums, pictures on the forums, for most every forum, the best thing is to get a Imgur account or a Flickr account or Google Photos or something like that, and then grab the sharing link and post it over there, and then get rid of everything after the image tag or something like that. Anyway, Imgur is the easiest right now because they do a direct sharing thing that's really, really simple. So you might try that. Let's see. Kate asks, who would win a fight, Darth Maul or General Grievous? I think Maul would win. I don't know, man. It'd be a close one. Between those two, it'd be really close. Yeah. I think Maul. Personally, I would go to Maul, partly because I like Maul better than Grievous. But yeah. I think a lot of those people that Grievous killed, he did not kill in an honorable way. I think he cheated for most of those. So, or he attacked very young and inexperienced Jedi to get their sabers. Because if you look at the Clone Wars and any chance he had of getting the upper hand by any cheapskate way, he would do it. And I think in a direct fight with no cheating, I think Maul would win because he was BA. He was BA. Okay, Matt, I don't get on the MEPD very often, but I'll see if I can get over there and say hi and check out your stuff there. That's awesome, though. I'm glad you're on the forums. Best place you can be if you're developing a costume. Kenobi took out Maul and Vader. How did Kenobi take out Vader? I'm not following you there, FPSN Diver. Oh, you mean before? Yeah, he did before. That's true. Gotcha. Anakin, back before the awesomeness of the black leather suit and all that, yes. It was only because he had the high ground, which he did, and then he didn't, and then he did, and then he didn't again, and then he did, and then he didn't again, and yeah, it's kind of weird. Anyway, yeah, Kenobi took out Maul a couple times. Kenobi was pretty good. But his Obi-Wan Kenobi's fighting style was very reserved, which I think usually got people he was fighting to be overconfident, and then it gave him openings to do something. Because he wasn't super aggressive in the way he fought, but it'd be like going from karate to taekwondo, or well, not even taekwondo, like judo or something. It just very, very different style of fighting. Very yeah. That's right, Brian. Yep, that's right. Elite Clone Captain asked me, which would I choose? A New Hope Vader, Rogue One Vader, or Return of the Jedi Vader? Return of the Jedi Vader, for sure. That's what I am right now, and that's what I love. If I wasn't to choose that one, I would choose ESB, because he's awesome in ESB. And then I think after that, I would probably go with A New Hope. The one thing I really don't like about Rogue One is the codpiece. It is huge. It's so big. It's just ridiculously large. Anyway, other than that, I love the Rogue One Vader. I thought they did a great job with him overall. They could have done a lot better, like fitting everything to him, but it wasn't bad. And they did a great job letting him rip through loads of rebels. Yeah, his chest box in Rogue One never lights up, and it never lit up in A New Hope either. So they did do that continuity-wise. They did that well. His belt boxes, his chest box match really, really well. His helmet matches pretty well. Other than the differences I showed you, his armor is very different. His armor is like ESB armor. It is the black, every raised piece is black instead of being gray from there out. And then the shoulder bells, it's hard to tell, but they look like they're black. Really, really hard to tell. But, yeah. Someone should troop just as the melted down Vader helmet. Matt, that'd be great. Yeah, that's right. Pretzel Boy asks, what if in 40 years Disney makes a prequel trilogy for the sequel trilogy? You mean like the in-between 30 years from Return of the Jedi to The Force Awakens? They'd have to find a really, really, really good Mark Hamill lookalike who is in between age of 30 to older. Much older. So, yeah, that would be interesting. How old would I be? I'd be older, too. Wow. Hopefully they don't wait that long if they're going to do it. Yes, the belt boxes are not lit. Yep, it's true. Yeah, a few little discrepancies with stuff. Maybe he turned them off so that he could look cooler coming through the black doorway. Like he held his breath in ESB several times when he was waiting for Luke in the carbonite chamber, and then he held his breath when he was waiting for Luke in the hallway twice, actually. So he could turn that stuff off and on if he wanted to when he was trying to terrify someone. Exactly. If you saw the green lights coming, you knew, then, it would still be scary, but it wouldn't be as scary as seeing the lightsaber light up and everything turning red, which you have personal experience with. Vader standing in a hallway and turning the hallway red and breathing. CGI. Oh my gosh. He must have changed before he went on the tentative 5. I don't know. Who knows? It's hard to tell because the way they leave Rogue One, it's like, oh, okay, and then 35 minutes later, after they light speed across the galaxy, they're back on the tail of that ship. Obviously, at some point, that ship had to pick up our R2-D2 and C-3PO and a few other things, so it's hard to say what happened in the space of time. One of the fun things about Star Wars, inconsistencies all around. Let's see. I should do a remake of that. Yes, I've thought of that, actually, several times. Matt says the only problem with the CGI Tarkin is his skin reflects too much light. Yeah, they're still... they did an amazing job. Really, really, really amazing job. Especially if you went and saw it in IMAX. It looked better in IMAX than it did in high def, which is... not sure how that worked, but it really did. It looked much more believable in IMAX than it did in high def in a theater and on the home screen, obviously. But yeah, they're that close to making it perfect, which will be interesting because it'll open up a whole new can of worms of what happens to actors after they pass on and who has rights to their physical image and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next few years. Anyway. Cade says, in ESB, you finally got to see Vader unleash his anger and badass. Yes, that's true. And have you noticed that, the first bit of the Vader versus Luke fight in Bespin is Vader is toying with Luke just to get him in the pit. And then after that, he gets kicked off or falls off the carbonite chamber, is when he starts not messing around. That's when he goes to the hallway scene and starts throwing all that stuff at Luke, and then of course really cuts loose a bit later and just stops himself short from wiping Luke off the face of the map. Anyway. Check the Rebel Legion. I'm sure there's somebody out there doing a cosplay as Yoda. There's got to be somebody out there doing it. So I am going to start wrapping the stream up. So if you have any more questions for me, let me know right now, because otherwise I'm going to wrap the stream up a little bit early. I'll be going for 45 minutes already. So Oh, Matt, his favorite part of ESB is when Vader literally flies down the stairs. Yeah, he takes that giant leap and jumps in. Elite Clone Captain says, should I move to Alaska? You should move to Alaska if you like dark, cold, long winters. If you don't like those things, then you should not move to Alaska. If you like those things, Alaska's a great place because for 4 months of the year, 5-ish, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. If you like winter, it's a beautiful place year-round. It's just you can't see it that well in the winter because it's dark a lot. Anyway. All right, FPS Diver. See you next time. Good luck and good saber building and have fun. Mark Hoofman asks, what's my favorite Darth Vader parody video on YouTube? I don't know. I haven't seen that many parody videos, actually. I should look a few up. All right, see you, Elite Clone Captain. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Better than 100 Degrees Sun? Yes and no. It has its plus sides and its downsides, for sure. Anyway. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, everybody, for joining this channel. Share these videos. Like them. Let people know it's here. I'm still trying to get people over to this channel from my old channel, so... you know, if you knew people that watch this or would like to watch it, let them know, share the videos, let them know about it. And other than that, I've got some more videos coming up this week from previous videos that I posted on my other channel. I also have some new videos coming, and I really am going to try and stream sometime midweek, and then going to do a bonus stream with some of our other members up here on Sunday, this coming Sunday. So keep an eye on that for notifications. If you haven't already signed up for notifications, you can do that somewhere around the subscribe button. And other than that, yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for supporting this channel. And I will see you again soon in my next video.